I did it the other day. I did a video the other day about sort of how I've realised the trauma in sort of government officials and people who run countries, witnessing the truth. And then I sort of went and sort of did a deep dive into my own experience, and I realised how much trauma there was in my experience. And when I sort of delved into it, some really uncomfortable things came up. How the story that I'd had when I was a child about, not being accepted by my dad and everything else. And when I broke through that, it took me through, the minute I sort of accepted the truth of that I myself are traumatised in many ways. It was almost like this big long pathway opened up, and I just saw loads and loads and loads and loads of bits of my own life. And I remembered all these bits, and they all sort of made sense then, Like I remember one time of my life, I let a guy beat me half to death with a bat. And when I looked at that moment, I thought, why did you do that? The thing that came to me was realise, in a really sick, twisted, delusional way, I wanted to be accepted by a male so much and be part of the group so much. I let a human being batter me with a bat to, in some sick way, be accepted by me. Even when I left my company, the person I was in business with, who wasn't treating me well at all, and was being sort of, not a good person in my view at that time. Even on the way out of that thing, I was trying to make him feel better in some traumatic way, wanted to be accepted by a male person, And then I sort of broke it down and went back and realised it had all come back from my father and me thinking that I was not accepted by him. And then you realise how much trauma we walk around with, how much trauma we have that we don't even realise. And what was great by finding that out, by looking at the government people, it made me look at myself and realise, Christ, there's a lot of trauma we carry around with that we don't even know we carry around with and why we're carrying it around. And what we need to do as human beings is we need to deep dive ourselves. We're all great, and I do it. I tell it. I say to everyone else, do, act, sort of look at this, look at that. But what I do, what I'm very proud of, what I do is I look at my fucking self first. I dive here because I know here is where it needs all the work. And if I can work here and find out what's going on here, I can share the truth. And that somehow may help someone else. So I'm going to keep diving, constantly into my own trauma, my own delusions, my own storylines, and dig up all the shit. Because as a human being, I think that's what we've all got to do. We've got to dig up all of our shit first, lay it all out there. And then when you can lay it all out there, then you have a foundation of truth and you can share that truth with others. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my days. I'm going to keep digging up all my shit, and I'm going to keep laying it out there. To number one, to help myself, and hopefully by being honest and truthful, it might help somebody else as well. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.